Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. Now, as we see events unfolding around the coming Trump second presidency, and we hear all of these horror stories about what's about to happen and what's going to happen when he takes office, I can't help but ask a question that we've heard before. Why do white Americans vote against their own interests? Most of them are not in the same tax bracket as Donald Trump. Donald Trump has not had anywhere near the experience of most white Americans, but he has been able to convince them that he will work in their own best interest when in fact he's never done anything but work in his own best interest. So, why do they entrust their welfare and the welfare of this country in the hands of Donald Trump? Now, here's why I'm asking the question. One of my family members that lives in a small town in Alabama got sick and had to be rushed to the emergency room. Now, they don't really have paramedics in that town that can transport you 25 miles away to a decent hospital facility. In fact, in that county of about 20,000, 25, 30,000 people, there is no hospital. There's not even one of these little doctor in a box emergency centers. So you got to go 25 miles away. Not only do they not have paramedics there now, but in a real emergency, they have to be airlifted to the nearest hospital. So my family member had to be airlifted to the nearest hospital. There used to be two hospitals in the county. My youngest sister was born in one of those hospitals, the only one of us that was born in a hospital. How does a country go backwards? They have not decreased any of the responsibilities of the American citizens. How is it that we are going backwards? We have to pay taxes on everything. We have to buy a car tag. We have to pay for a driver's license. We have to pay taxes on food. We have to pay taxes on clothing. We have to pay taxes on everything we buy. And yet, we don't have decent medical facilities in a so called first world country. Now, my home county is majority white. So the majority of the people in that county are white, and they get sick too. And they die too, just like black people. But the fear of America growing out of their reach is deeply embedded in the minds and hearts of many Americans. Therefore, America cannot grow and become the best that she can be. And that should be concerning to all of us. Well, a few years ago, one of my friends and I were having lunch, and we were sitting there talking and catching up and gossiping like we do. And this white woman came up to us and started talking, and we were being polite, and then she just kept talking about the governor of the state. And we were like, okay, lady, don't talk to us. Go over there and talk to the white people because we didn't vote for him. He was a Republican governor. These southern states are mostly red states. We have Republican governors in these states. So we were like, don't talk to us. We didn't vote for him. Go talk to all these white folks that are in here eating. But she had something she wanted to say, and she finally got it out. She said, if the governor of our state had expanded Medicare the way President Obama wanted him to do, it would help 350,000 people in this state. So that was a clue right there of what goes wrong in America. President Obama had ideas about high speed rail, which is what we need, and also expanding Medicare to help more people. America is not broke. There's no such thing as we don't have the money to do it. We absolutely do have the money to do it. Now, back to the hospitals. The reason those hospitals closed was because those people were fighting Obamacare, which is the Affordable Care Act. Many of them signed up for the Affordable Care Act, and that is the only insurance that they have, not even realizing that that is Obamacare. When it became popular, they changed the name, but they were so insistent on not doing something to support President Obama that they vetoed these Southern governors would not expand Medicare because it was President Obama's idea. So everybody suffers, including them. And that brings me back to the question, why do they vote against their own interest? Why do white people vote against their own interest? We have a saying around here in the South, white people don't care if they don't have anything. They just don't want us to have anything, us being Black Americans. They look backwards instead of looking forward. They look backwards to how they think things used to be, being when Black people were enslaved or when they had their foot on Black people's necks and they were in charge of everything. They cannot see that this country is big enough and wealthy enough that we could all prosper. We can all do well. They can only feel strengthened by the idea that they're holding Black people back. It is very sad, but they will not let this country grow, and they will not let this country grow up, and they won't grow up. And they are so easily played. They let a con man like Donald Trump fool them into thinking that he has their best interest at heart. Now, I don't believe any of them have our best interest at heart. But I do believe there are people who make an effort to try to make the country better, not making everything about their own financial gain, as I believe might be the case with Donald Trump. But white Americans, I don't know what it's going to take to shake them, to make them realize they can't go backwards. We're not going backwards. We really need to work to try to move this country forward so everybody can live righteously and can live our best lives. And this thing now about their low birth rate, which is irreversible, ought to be a sign to them that they're on the wrong track. They're not doing something right. They're doing this country a disservice with their obsession of holding other people back, primarily Black people. America can be better, and America should be better. Okay, y'all, let me know what you think about this video. Why do you think they vote against their own interests? Let me know what you think. Thank you for listening. Give me a thumbs up and have a good evening.